Alright, Cat, do you want to do the intro, Cat, as you're just sitting there?
Yeah, okay. Today he has got a lovely old vintage Vango to show ya.
You alright, Fussy Knickers? How you doing today? And you got that tenner you owe me?
No worry, I'm sorry I haven't got that £10. I am absolutely skint.
Yeah, but you've always got money for drinks up the old Froggy Saloon, and yeah, you find money for that. Right, so today I've got two tents here. I've got a Wild Country, which I'm going to do later on. Now this one is the Wild Country Pampas. It's a nice old vintage tent. And behind it I've got this one that I'm going to do today. Now this is the Vango Odyssey Micro 4. Now it's a bit weird. It's called the Micro 4. So you'd think this tent would be a 4-man. But it's not a 4-man. You would not fit 4 people in it. Although it is quite a big tent. But I would say it's more like a 3-person tent with a big festival either side. I think you'd struggle, you really would struggle to fit 4 people in this tent. So it's not a 4-person tent, it's more like a 3-person tent, this one. Unless you was very tiny people, then yeah, 4 of you would get in here. But normal sized people, it's like a 3-person tent, and it's not even a big 3-person tent, the sleeping bit. But I would say there is enough for 3 people in it. See there, it's got Odyssey wrote on the zips. It has got nice attention to detail on this tent. It is quite fancy for an old Vango tent. All the zips have got Odyssey written on it. It's got a really nice set of aluminium poles. Yeah, it's nicely made, this tent. And I do like this tent, but it is not one of my favourite tents. For some reason, I've never really bonded with this tent. Although I've had it a long time, and I do like it. It's a good tent when you're out in it, using it. It's like a nice tent, but it's not one of my favourite tents. And I don't really know why, because it's got everything going for it that I like in a tent. It's a bit quirky. It's very different to other tents, but it's got some little design bits to it that I don't really like. I'll show you a bit more of them later on. It has got some bits to it that I'm not that keen on, but as an actual tent, it is a good tent. So they are like the original pegs that come with it. It's got some with the round tops and some of them like Spady style pegs. I won't use them, I'll just use my bubblegum pegs today because they're easy on your hands. So it's got a nice big thick set of aluminium poles on it. 2 poles on this one, big long poles that like do the middle, and then you pull it out of the front of the back. So it's really kind of a tunnel tent, this one really. Although it doesn't look much like a tunnel tent. You would call it a tunnel tent, I think, and it pitches like a tunnel tent, so that's what we're going to go with, that this is a tunnel tent style, although it doesn't look like a tunnel tent once it is up. And it's like a big tent, this one, a few strange things about it. The tent is massive, it's got a big vestibule either side, like the sleeping bit is in the middle inside. That's like a 3-man sort of size sleeping bit. And then the tent is massive. And it opens up on each side, like on the fly and on the inner. But like the doors on the inner are massive. And the doors on the fly are only small. It's a bit strange like that. You know what I mean? Normally a tent, whatever, the fly will open pretty much to the size of the door going into the inner, but this one doesn't. See, as you can see there, it's got 2 poles, and they are shaped, the poles. So they're like pre-bent, the old poles. They are exactly the same length. It don't matter where you put the poles in. 2 poles, put them in any sleeve you like. But they only go in one way round, because one side has got a little pocket that the pole goes into and the other side locks into the loop. So you just have to make sure you put the poles in the right way round. And this one as well, I'd sort of take the inner out of this. It snags up. It's got so many straps and that on it. If you leave the inner in this, when you go to pitch it, I've done it a few times, you can leave the inner in, but it tends to all snag up with all the bits holding it together and everything just tangles up. It ends up a bit of a nightmare, this tent, if you leave the inner in. So I sort of take it out. So last time I've used it, I've taken the inner out. If I didn't have time to pack it down, I would just pack this down and leave the inner in it. It will go up next time, but I've had it where it's all tangled round itself and it's been a nightmare, and I've just thought, right, you're better off with this one to whip the inner out. Because the inner's a bit weird on this. It goes on like zips at the top, so if it snags when you're like putting the poles in and pushing it up, I think you could easily damage them zips and then you've ruined the tent. So that's why I'm a bit careful with this one, because it has got like zips that hold the inner in at the top. I don't really like the way the inner goes in on this tent. It's sort of like, it's alright, but it's a bit of a palaver putting the inner in on this. It's not thought out that well, really. It's not user friendly. It's quite, if you didn't know about tents, if you're a real novice at putting tents up and you've only ever done a couple of tents in your life, you'd struggle putting the inner in this. You wouldn't know where to start and you'd find it awkward, because it is fiddly getting the inner in this thing, because it's got all clips and that on it, but there's no room to like get round them and do it. It is an awkward tent to put the inner in this one. Whereas I've got another one of these tents. I'll just show you there. So the sleep, I'm doing it the wrong way there. Hang on, let me turn the pole round. I'm doing it wrong now. The other end of the pole has got a little flat bit because it goes in the pocket. That end I was putting in is the other end and it goes in a loop. So let's get the right end of the pole and slide that in. You see there, that pole's just got a little flat bit on the end of it. So the poles go through on the inside of the fly. They are not on the outside of the fly, they are inside the fly. And I think it's that makes it awkward to pitch this when you leave the inner in it. It does tend to all snag up because you can't really get to this pole that well. All the zips are by where this pole goes on the inside. It's all zipped in. And it just all snags up. It doesn't like being pitched with the inner in this tent, basically. It's easier to do the inner after, although the inner is a bit of a nightmare to put in this one. It is a nice tent when it's up though, this one. It is a good tent. I like how quirky it is and all that. I do like this tent, but for some reason I think I should like it more than I do, because I normally love quirky, bit strange tents. But I do like this one, but I don't really love this thing. Like, I've got another Vango Odyssey tent. I've done it on the channel. It's a smaller one than this. It's a strange little tent, it is. I love that one. I love that one so much. It is absolutely fantastic, my other Odyssey. It's up there. It's one of my favourite tents. And I should like this as much as that, because this is kind of similar to that, but on a bit of a bigger scale. But I don't really. I like this one. I absolutely love my other Vango Odyssey. It's on the channel, that one, if you want to have a look at it. The Vango Odyssey Micro. Yeah, I love that one. And it's just, I should love this one as much, but I don't. And I think it's just because this one's got a few little things that go against it. I'm not saying this is a bad tent. I'm not mugging it off. I do like this tent. I wouldn't part with this tent because I think it's quite rare, this tent. There's not many of these out there. This is quite a rare old Vango. And this one's in nice condition, so I do like it. It's got all that going for it. I do like it, this old Vango tent. And it is another one that is designed by Arn. I don't know who Arn was, but Arn done these tents. So Arn was a bit of a crazy man, I think, who designed some crazy tents for Vango. And I've got some others done by Arn. I do like an Arn tent. Others I haven't got round to doing them on the channel. I've got a Hurricane done by Arn. And I've got a couple of others done by Arn. I've got another one of these micros that I really like, but I haven't done that one yet. I've still got a lot of tents to do on the channel yet. So yeah, Arn done this one for Vango. This is a designed by Arn tent. I don't know who Arn was, but Arn was a very nice man because he designed my other Odyssey tent and I absolutely loved that thing. So thank you, Arn, for that one. And I would say, Arn, I like this one, but you could have done it a little bit better, mate. There's a few bits on this that I don't really like. And I think it's them little bits that stop me really loving this tent. Although I do like it, Arn, so I will give you a thumbs up, Arn. This is still a really good tent. And it is very quirky, Arn. So thank you for thinking outside the box, Arn. Because this tent is not like nothing else that I've got, really. It is a good tent for its quirkiness. So you can see there the other pole goes in the same. And that's all it's got. These two poles are quite close together when it's pitched. And then you pull the front and the back out like a tunnel tent. And then the vegetables are on the sides of the tent. So you sort of don't go in this tent at the front or the back. You go in it through the sides. And that's what I'm saying here. Like, if you look at what's going on now, this tent, I'm only trying to get the pole in. It's got so many straps and that on it. They always get tangled round each other and it's got so many straps and things on this tent. And when you get the inner involved in that as well, it just ends up a nightmare because that inner's got a load of strings and all sorts on it. So, yeah, don't know, there's just a lot going on with this tent and there's a lot of things to, like, wrap round each other. Like, look at all them straps there. It's just strapped everywhere, this thing. Straps holding this together, straps holding that together, and they always get tangled up. No matter how nicely you put this thing away, the next time you get it out, it will be all tangled up. It just will with this tent. So it's just little bits like that stop me loving this tent. Although, like I said, I do like this tent. I would not part with this tent. I've had it a long time. I've used this tent quite a bit. Because it is a bit strange, this tent. Whenever you use it, you think, why was that designed like that? What's that bit all about? It's like a very funny tent, this one. So I've just gone to the back to pull it out and peg it down. Or the front, whatever you want it to be, this one. Because this is one, it's the same, this one, at both sides. Both sides of this tent are exactly the same. If you turn this tent round, it'd be exactly the same. So it is like each side is not a mirror image. It is exactly the same on both sides. So if you turn it, it still end up the same, this tent. So I'm just putting the pegs in. So you pull it out on the 3 straps at the back and the front. Just go round, pull it out on the straps. Now, I do think this is going to sit a bit strange, this, because I've had to sort of do it, like in my garden. It's got a slope to my garden. So, because this tent is so big, it's kind of going on the slope a little bit. So, I'm not really going to stretch it out and get the fly to the ground. I don't want to stretch it because it's kind of on a bit of a slope. It would pitch a lot better, this one, on flat ground. It is not on flat ground in my garden. It is too big. As you can see here, like, the front bit, my garden's sloping downhill. But where that back is sitting, it is flat. So, I'm not going to stretch the fly right down to the ground because I'll be overstretching it. I'm not going to do that. I'll just get it looking quite nice. But I know for a fact it would look better, this tent, on nice flat ground, because it needs nice flat ground, this one. But I've got nowhere in my garden to pitch this on flat ground. It's just too big to do it. So it's just make do with what we have. So you just go to the sides. That was like the front pulled out, pegged down. So you go to the sides, put a little peg in, and that's at the bottom of the poles there. One there, and then just do the same the other side. There's a peg left in there from last time I put a tent up. So I left the peg in my garden. Yeah, so go to the other side, just put 2 pegs into the bottom of the poles on the other side. And then this old tent will be up the outer. I'll probably only be able to do the guides on it on this side. I won't have no room to do them on the other side. There is just no room. But I will get the guides out on this side. So that's all you do. Pull it out at the bottom of the poles. And you see there, the 2 poles are quite close together. And then the rest of it is like pulled out on the straps. So for the size of the tent, the actual bit that's pulled is quite small, right in the middle. But the poles like lean out. So it's sort of, that is a tunnel tent, ain't it? Look at that there, that is a tunnel tent, but it's a funny looking tunnel tent. It is a good looking tent, this one, look, it is a bit strange. Yeah, it's got a funny old look to it, this one.
Oi! Oi!
What, cat?
Oi! Don't go mugging off the old Vango! We love the old vintage Vangos, don't go mugging them off.
I'm not mugging it off, cat. I'm not mugging it off. Just saying I don't love it like I do my other Odyssey. But I do still love it a bit, cat.
You don't mug it off. It's a lovely old vintage Vango. And we like them.
Yeah, I know we do, cat. We love an old vintage Vango, don't we, mate? So there you have it. Look, the Odyssey Micro 4. So yeah, you can see by the outside here, if you look at the video on my other Vango Odyssey tent, they have got a similar sort of look to them, the way they are done. Although the other one's much smaller than this, the way with the straps and the fronts pull out and the back pulls out and all that, and the little door, they are similar in design. It's just that one's really small and this one's much bigger. But that one is a fantastic tent, the other one. Whereas I'm going to give it to this one. This is just a good old vintage tent. It is a good tent. But the other one is fantastic. So you see there, I've got the 2 guides out. I'm not going to be able to do them on the other side. So let's unzip the door and we'll have a little look inside it. So you see here, like, for the size of this tent, this little door, and it's got the same again on the other side, but this little door to get in it is only small. So it's a bit strange, you know what I mean? You could have done this one where it opened up a bit bigger, the door on the fly, but they haven't. This is all you get. This little door here to go in and out. And if you look inside it now, you'll see that it's massive in there. And them straps on the floor there, they go on the inner, so it has got like that tensioning system to strengthen it up in the wind. It has got all that in it, this one. So if we have a look in it, look in there, there's massive in there. And that's what I'm saying, look, on the ceiling there, them black bits, they are zips on there, 2 of them, and the inner zips to them. But I find if you leave the inner in on them zips, it's really hard getting the poles through. It all like snags up and everything. And I think you would end up damaging this if you keep the inner in it. You just would. You'd end up pushing a pole and ripping it or doing some damage. That is why I take the inner out. And I do prefer tents really you can leave the inner in, innit? They go up so much quicker. Tent where you just leave the inner in, but I don't do it with this one. This is one of the tents where I always whip the inner out. And you can see there, that's like the zips where it zips in at the ceiling. that is fiddly to do. Getting that zip started, trying to hold both bits together up in the air and getting the zip started and that is really fiddly, that bit. It is like tricky to get them zips on. And then it's got the tensioner system on the clips. So just put the camera down a second and I'll do that on the clip, because they're like really hard to do with one hand. And then it's got another zip to do the other bit the same. So you do one and do the other. But it's kind of weird because the zips are on the inside. So the first one's easy. But then the second one, when you're trying to do this one, the pulley bit on the zip is on the inside. So you're kind of reaching over the top of the inner and doing it. So whatever one you do second is fiddly again, because I always think the zip should be round the other way so you can do it from the outside, but you can't. You got to zip it along the inside. So it's just like a few little bits like that. You see what I mean there? To do that, I'm reaching over the inner and then pulling the zip round, because it ain't got the little like the pull on the zip on the other side. It's on the inside, when it would be better if it was on the outside. So I'll just do the tensioner straps up on that bit. So it is quite a strong tent, this one. When it's all pegged down with all its guides out and you get all that tensioner system connected up and that, it's got a fair bit of strength on this tent. And everything in this tent is ripstrop nylon, all the inner, all the fly, everything. It's really nicely made, this tent. The materials on this thing are like top quality materials, and it's not very heavy, this tent. For the size of the tent you're getting for a vintage tent, this one is quite lightweight really. So like there, to do the tensioner, you got to like unzip it a bit, clip that on, because otherwise you can't reach in there, because it's all like on the inside. So I put that bit of the tensioner up and then do the zip again. So that's what I'm saying, it's just a bit fiddly, this. And then all it's got is clips on like bungees on the sides. And you like pull them out and they clip on the ground in all the corners. But even they're fiddly. Like the first one is alright to do. But as you get more and more on, you got no room to get round this thing between the fly and the inner. So you end up laying on the ground, arms at full length stretch, trying to get hold of bits and clip them together. So it's not like a pleasurable experience putting the inner in this tent. It's not that bad, but it could be a lot easier, you know what I mean? It ain't really well thought out, this tent. I think it is designed to leave the inner in it. So when they made this, they built this tent to leave the inner in it, without realising how much of a pain that makes it, because everything snags up when you leave the inner in it. So it's just not designed perfect, this tent. It has got a few little design flaws to it, I think. Other people might own this tent and love it and find it really easy and just love doing it, leave the inner in. But my one doesn't like the inner left in it. It doesn't. Because of them pole sleeves being on the inside, trying to get them poles through. You can't see what you're doing. It ain't like poles on the outside. So you can't see what you're doing. When you got the inner in as well and all them zips connected, that tensioner system connected, yeah, it's just a bit of a nightmare. It's easier to take it out. And it's just got these clips on the little bungees to do on all the corners.
Get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get an Odyssey made by on Vango. That's right, folks, get a life, get a Vango.
You're at me today, cat.
Beep off.
Oh, maybe you won't then, mate. So as you see there, I didn't film it, I've put the inner in, because there's no room to get round this and do it, let alone try and get a camera in there with me. So I've put all the clips on, and I've put the tensioner system up, and as you can see there, this bit's a bit weird like, because you open the door, but you can't get in it with the tensioner system on. You gotta like disconnect all that to like get in there. So when the tensioner system is on, you can't really open the doors. Now that doesn't make sense, does it, really? That's not right, is it? Got to disconnect that every time you want to get in and out. That's not right. That's a little bit of a like bad design there from Arn, isn't it? That's not that good a design. You don't have to do that with other tents. I don't think I've got any others where you've got to disconnect all that system to get in and out of it. So the doors just roll down and go on toggles along the bottom. And as you see there, as I've unzipped the door, this door into the inner is massive. But the door to get out through the fly is only little. So that's a bit weird as well, that he's done like that, ain't it? It's like a weird little design, because normally you think the inner door would be a similar size to the fly door. And there's the other strap there for the tensioner system. So if you put that strap up and clip it on, then you can't open the door. You can't get in or out. So that's not right, is it? Look, now I've clipped it on. You can't open the door now. The door is held up by that. So you can't open it. So that's just not right, is it? It's something wrong now. You should be able to have that system in and be able to get in and out of your tent. And I'm laying down in here now. So you see, there's like not that much room, considering it's called a 4. There is no way this thing is a 4-man tent. So that's like the front tensioner system goes across, and then you got that tensioner system there. But both of them hold the doors up. You cannot get in or out with them done up. It's got nice zips there, all the Odyssey embossed on it. I like the zips on this tent. I just put the camera down so I can undo that, because that is just like a little air vent. So you got one this side, one the other side, and that just opens up to vent it out. So you can vent it out well, this tent. Got another one this end. I'll open this one up, and you see like the ground sheet on this inner, it would go better than this. It's a bit saggy in here at the minute. That's because I pitched it on a slope, and I don't want to overstretch the fly and all that to get it nice. But if I was on flat ground, this inner would be better than it is at the minute. It's where it is on a bit of a slope, and I haven't really tensioned it up because I don't want to stretch my lovely old tent. If you was on flat ground, this thing would go up lovely. So it's got the vent there at the top of the door with the old bug mesh. So you can undo both tops of the doors to the mesh. Do them little holes I've just unzipped either end to the mesh. So it does vent really well, this tent. In the summer, you can open all them vents up and that. Stay nice and cool in here. Get good wind flow coming round, because you've got like little openings on each side. So that's what I'm saying there. Look, I've undone the door, but it'll hang there like that because it is on the tensioner system. So that's not right in my book. There is something wrong there, isn't it? This is a Vango after all, isn't it? Vango know what they're doing with a tent. Surely when they made that, they thought, this is wrong. I bet I went, no, I like it like that. It's how I wanted it. I want it to be a right pain to get in and out of. Every time someone gets in that tent, I want them to think, God on, why did you do this? That's what I was going for. Because I think that's what Arn had done, innit? He must have thought, right, how do I make the tent really hard to get in? Right, I'll put the tensioning system right in the way and make it so you can't open the doors. And that's what he did.
Oi, cap out face. Don't go mugging Arn off and the lovely old vintage Vango. Don't mug 'em off. I love a vintage Vango. And don't put the camera on me. I got dirt on my face. Hang on, let me have a wash.
Alright, Cat, I wasn't mugging Arn off, Cat. I love Arn's tents. I love these vintage Vangos. But this one, it needed a little rethink with this one. It really did need a little bit of a rethink on a few little areas. But this is still a really good tent. I'm just looking now at its labels and that, because I thought it might have had a little date on it when this tent was made, but it hasn't. It is old though, this tent. I've had this tent about 15 years, maybe 20, and it was old when I got it. So it is quite an old tent, this one. It really is. So you can see there, them straps, they'd be on the floor if you was on flat ground. But where I've got it pitched, like the back of the tent is on the flat, but the front here is sloping downhill, so everything is a little bit squiffy where the ground is so uneven. So on flat ground this thing does pitch a hell of a lot better. So let's open the door up this side, and this side is exactly the same as the other side. There's no difference whatsoever, exactly the same. So if you like picked this tent up and turned it 180, it would be exactly the same as that other side it is now. The door would be at the front, where it's at the back now. If you spun it round, it would be over there where that door is. So this tent, it's not a mirror image either side. Each side is the same. So I'll just put the camera down a sec and do the door onto the toggles. So it's nice, this tent, when both sides open up and that. It is good tent, but it's strange, isn't it, why them inner doors are so massive and the outer doors are only little. It's like a bit weird like that, because the inner doors are more or less the whole size of the inner. You open them right up. I suppose it is good when you're cooking in that little vegetable bit with the door open. You can get all the way in the vegetable of your tent. So it is alright the way. It's better that them inner doors are big rather than them being small, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get to like the end of your vegetable. But you can make a little brew and all that in here with the like that big door open on the inner. So yeah, look at it. It is a funny tent, this one. You tent fans are looking at this going, yeah, that is a funny looking old Vango. That really is. So I bet a lot of you like it, and a lot of you are sort of looking at it thinking, I'm not sure whether I like that tent or not. I really like the tent. I love the look of it. I love everything about it, apart from them few little bits that kind of go against it, like that tensioner system, and it's hard to pitch, and then you got to put the inner in. Well, it's not hard to pitch, it's hard to pitch with the inner in. So it's only them couple of things that go against it. The rest of it is really good. But if you have got a bit of a tent collection, if you've got a few tents, this is a quirky one to have in your collection if you could find one. You would enjoy using it because it's very different to other stuff, this one. You pitch this up on a campsite, it will look different to anything else on the campsite. These things stand out. People will come and have a look at this because it will be like the oddball tent on the campsite. Not many people will have seen this. They really won't. It's like, I don't think there's that many of these out there. I really don't think there is. Because you don't see it. I've never had this out and seen another one. Of all the times I've been out camping, I've never seen another one of these. I have seen them on eBay, but I've never seen another one in real life. When most of the old vintage tents I've got, or a lot of them, you do see them now and again. But this one, I have never seen this one. So yeah, I like that about it. It is a little bit rare, and it is very quirky, this tent. Very, very quirky. And it is good like that, with it all opened up. And I'd normally, if I was going out with this, like for a few days camping and all that, I would take a ground sheet with it that covers in all the vegetables and all that. So I do use this, because it's old, I do take a ground sheet out with this thing. And like use it, cover all the vegetables, so you get ground sheet in the vegetables and that. It does make it better like that. You store all your gear out in the vegetables and that. And it's nice, this one, with it opened up and you've got the ground sheet laid in that vegetable, with all your gear and that laid out there, making a little brew and all that. Yeah, it's lovely, this tent, for that. You see there, Jess has got in. So we're laid in, enough room here. there's enough room for someone else really. So I would say this is a 3-person tent. It's not a 4, it is a 3. Because it's too small to be a 4-man. It's like, I'll move over this side, you look how much room is in the middle between us. See, it's like a 3-man. It's not a massive 3-man. It's like a normal size 3-man inner, I'd say, this one. But a nice inner. It is nice. Once it's all up and you've got it all done, this tent, it is a really enjoyable tent to use. And you'll end up laughing at that tensioner system, because every time you do the door, you tend not to use it. You just leave it dangling. You don't use that, because every time you clip it on, you just think, what's the point? I've got to unclip that to get out. So that'll make you laugh, because it just seems so weird. You will laugh about that if you owned one of these. So I would say this is a good tent to own, because it's like, I wouldn't part with this tent. I do like this old tent because it's quite rare. This one's in really nice condition. It's very quirky. Look at it like that, where you can look right through it with all the doors open and that. It does look really good. I like the colour with the yellow and all that. It looks really good. So yeah, this tent's got a couple of little things that go against it, but overall, it is a fantastic tent, this one. So I'm going to give the Vango Odyssey Micro 4 a big thumbs up, because it is a vintage tent, and it is a really good tent, and it is very quirky. And I'm going to give it a bit of a thumbs down, because it just needed a bit of a rethink on a couple of areas. But overall, I'm going to give it a big thumbs up. Because just look at it, this thing is so different to anything else, isn't it? So Arn really was thinking outside the box when he designed this one. And I think I love it more today because I really like the Cat's new song. It is really catchy. So take it away, fussy knickers. Oh, get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get an Odyssey made by hand. Now you, cat.
Get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get an Odyssey made by hand. All together. Get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get an Odyssey made by hand. That's right, folks, get a life, get a Vango.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe so you can join me again. See what I'm pitching, doing, looking at or buying. So I'm off now to sit in my lovely old Vango. And I might get the cat and old fussy niggers to sing that song again. So take it away, boys.
Get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get a life, get a Vango, get an Odyssey made by hand. And remember, folks, other tent manufacturers are available, so if you don't fancy something by the lovely old Vango, don't sit indoors like a square, get a life and go and buy yourself a Mountain Hardware.